$750. That is how much Donald Trump paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and again in 2017.
The New York Times says they have obtained 20 years of the president's tax returns. What else do the records reveal?
I'm David Green with Rachel Martin, and this is Up First from NPR News. Senate Minority Whip Dick Durbin says there is not much Democrats can do to stall the confirmation of the president's Supreme Court nominee, Amy Coney Barrett.
We could slow it down, perhaps a matter of hours, maybe days at the most, but it can't stop the outcome.
Republicans are moving quickly to fill the vacancy.
Also, a D.C. federal judge decided to block President Trump's order banning the video sharing app TikTok. But is this just a temporary victory for the company? Stay with us. We've got the news you need to start your day.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from Whoop. You know you didn't get enough sleep last night, but do you know it affects your body? Whoop, the 24/7 fitness tracker, can help with that. Get 15% off Whoop when you visit whoop.com and use code UPFIRST at checkout. Support also comes from First Republic Bank. Experience personalized banking from the comfort of your home with the redesigned First Republic mobile app. Visit firstrepublic.com/digital to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
President Trump's whole sales pitch to voters has been about money. He has falsely claimed that he's a self-made billionaire, and that record of financial success makes him well-suited to be president. He was able to spin that story in large part because the public couldn't see his tax returns until now.
That's right. The New York Times says it has obtained about 2 decades worth of Trump's financial records, and it shows that in both 2016 and 2017, President Trump paid just $750 in federal income tax in each of those years, and he didn't pay anything in 10 of the last 15 years because he was losing much more money than he was making. The president was asked about the New York Times exclusive reporting yesterday. He tried to claim that it was made up.
We've got NPR White House correspondent Franco Ordonez with us. Franco, good morning. First, we should just say NPR has not been able to independently confirm this ourselves, but you have been digging into the Times report. What more does it say?
Well, it shows how he racked up and leveraged substantial losses in order to avoid paying taxes. And as David noted, including no taxes for many years. Trump was asked about the bombshell report yesterday. He claimed it was all fake news.
Well, first of all, I paid a lot, and I paid a lot of state income taxes, too. The New York state charges a lot, and I paid a lot of money in state. It'll all be revealed. It's going to come out.
It's not entirely new, though. The president has previously bragged about not paying taxes. Some will remember Hillary Clinton accusing him of not paying federal income taxes in a 2016 debate. At that time, he said it made him smart. Now, a lawyer for the Trump organization, Alan Garten, did give a statement to the Times. It said the facts appear to be inaccurate and that Trump did pay personal taxes, but he kind of sidestepped directly saying what the president had paid and kind of conflated income taxes and other federal taxes. That's according to the report.
So last night, the president said he wants to release his taxes. I mean, he notably hasn't. This has been the norm in modern American history that presidential candidates and presidents release their tax returns. This president has refused to do so. Now he says he wants to. Why doesn't he just do it?
Yeah. He cites an ongoing audit as an excuse for not releasing his tax returns. It is interesting. The report notes that he's been in this long fight with the IRS over the legitimacy of a $73 million tax refund. Now, that could have some financial consequences, costing him over $100 million. But as you know, there is no prohibition on releasing the returns, as presidents and presidential candidates have done for decades, before Trump, obviously. And this reporting raises a lot of questions, maybe why. It paints the president as a slick businessman who took advantage of all kinds of write-offs to avoid paying taxes, while at the same time living a lavish lifestyle, even writing off $70,000 worth of haircuts. He wrote off consulting fees that the Times says appear to be those paid to his daughter, despite her role as a top employee in his business.
I mean, the Times report also suggests that Donald Trump knew that he was in financial distress and that running for president was a way to kind of burnish his brand because he had all these debts coming due, right?
Right. And, it may not just be political for Trump. The Times is suggesting that he could face hundreds of millions of dollars in personal debt coming due in the next few years and potentially legal consequences. But the president has faced explosive stories before that haven't necessarily stuck. And I was in touch with a senior administration official last night who felt this too would pass. The official argued that the amount of people who may be swayed to change their votes is likely very small. But that official did note that it will likely be a point during the debate tomorrow, and it could be useful for Joe Biden if used effectively.
All right. NPR's Franco Ordonez. Thank you so much, Franco. We'll be covering the repercussions of this. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, there are only 36 days until the election, and between now and then, Senate Republicans and President Trump are going to push hard to appoint a new Supreme Court justice.
She's one of our nation's most brilliant legal minds, and I think she'll do very well. We're moving along very quickly.
That is the president there praising his choice for the job, Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Now, despite cries of hypocrisy from Democrats who are still mourning the justice who never was, Merrick Garland, the GOP-controlled Senate looks ready to push through Barrett's confirmation process quickly, and she could be approved before November 3rd.
We've got NPR congressional reporter Claudia Grisales with us this morning. Good morning, Claudia.
Good morning, Rachel.
All right, so the president and some Republicans, a lot of them, want to get Barrett confirmed before the election. What can you tell us about the timeline?
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham laid out the timeline just yesterday on Fox News. He's chairman of the Judiciary Committee. He said they'll start the hearing on October 12th and then have 2 days of questioning and then report out this nomination out of committee on October 22nd. So that's about 10 days later. Graham said Barrett would get a, quote, full, fair hearing in that time, and then it'd be up to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to schedule a vote on the floor of the full Senate, perhaps 10 or so days before the election. And it appears McConnell has all the Republican votes he needs to confirm, even if all Democrats oppose this move. But that time frame doesn't leave a lot of time for the panel to finish the FBI background check and review answers to the committee's lengthy questionnaire that nominees submit ahead of the hearings.
So do Democrats have any leverage even just to slow the process down?
So they don't have much leverage here. Dick Durbin, who's the Senate Minority Whip and a member of the Judiciary Committee, was asked about this on Sunday, and he conceded there aren't a lot of options here. He was on ABC's This Week. Let's take a listen.
We could slow it down, perhaps a matter of hours, maybe days at the most, but it can't stop the outcome.
Instead, we can expect Democrats to focus on the timeline. Some polling has found that voters are on their side in preferring to have whoever wins the presidential election to appoint the new justice. And Democrats can focus on the issues that coronavirus relief is getting sidelined and that Barrett may be a vote to strike down the Affordable Care Act, which is set to be considered by the court just a week after Election Day.
So Joe Biden has been trying to use this as a moment to talk about healthcare and the fragility of healthcare. What's he been saying?
So Biden gave remarks yesterday in Delaware. He warned that the court could overturn the Affordable Care Act. Indeed, President Trump tweeted that, quote, Obamacare will be replaced with a much better and far cheaper alternative if it is terminated in the Supreme Court. But of course, a replacement plan could have been voted on any time to replace Obamacare if Trump would put one forward. But Biden also tried appealing to his former Republican colleagues in the Senate, urging them to wait on this nomination. Let's take a listen.
Just because you have the power to do something doesn't absolve you of your responsibility to do right by the American people. Uphold your constitutional duty. Summon your conscience.
So in making his case, Biden was referencing the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself, who said it was her most fervent wish that the nomination not be filled until after the election.
NPR's Claudia Grisales. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, it was supposed to be gone. TikTok, the popular video sharing app, it was supposed to just disappear from U.S. app stores today.
Well, it turns out if you were interested in downloading TikTok, you don't have to worry. You can still do it, at least for the moment. Last night, a federal judge in Washington sided with the company by blocking President Trump's order banning new downloads of the app. The Trump administration, we should remember, calls the app a national security threat, and they're fighting in court to block TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, from operating the app in the United States, either by banning it outright or forcing a sale to a domestic buyer.
All right, we've got NPR tech reporter Bobby Allen to talk about TikTok's fate here. Hi, Bobby.
Hey, Rachel.
What did the court decide?
So the judge here is putting the brakes on a ban that would have, like you said, prevented any new downloads of TikTok. And this was supposed to start midnight Sunday. The judge didn't explain his rationale for the ruling, but TikTok's lawyers argued in a hearing over the weekend that shutting it down is like closing the modern day version of a town square, and that's kind of like silencing speech. And, since the pandemic, TikTok has been the fastest growing app in the world. So, the 100 million TikTok users in the U.S. afraid their app was about to be cut off indeed can, breathe a sigh of relief. They could keep posting their lip syncing and other ridiculous videos, at least for now.
I mean, I'm trying right now. Let's see if I can get this downloaded before the end of our conversation. Exactly. So this isn't the final word for TikTok at all.
No, yeah, far from it. This breather for TikTok does buy it time until there's, an extensive hearing on Trump's ban, which the White House is not backing down from. So, as this winds its way through the courts, there is one very important date, Rachel, and that is November 12th. That is when TikTok has to find an American buyer or disappear for real in the U.S. TikTok was hoping the judge over the weekend would have pushed back that date too, but the judge said, nope, we're keeping it.
Right. So what's up with that deal?
Yeah. So parties were racing towards an agreement. We've been hearing about it, and things went south very fast. Trump gave the green light for software company Oracle to take a big stake in TikTok and to control its U.S. data. Walmart was also a major investor. But then TikTok parent company ByteDance said, actually, not so fast. We don't want to lose control of the biggest app to ever come out of China. So talks have stalled. But, I talked to the parties involved, and they say they have not given up. And for TikTok, Rachel, the stakes are just really, really, really high. The app, if it ends up getting banned, even temporarily, the company says like 90% of its users could quit and then hop over to competitors like Instagram or, one of the many other video apps that have sensed real opportunity here.
I mean, the whole national security threat, this is the thing that President Trump keeps bringing up. Is the data of Americans really safe on TikTok? I mean, if you're the average consumer listening to this, maybe you have concerns about that.
That's the question I get the most. Should I be worried about TikTok? That's the crux of the debate. And, the Trump administration says having a Chinese parent company like TikTok does is a national security threat, and that China's authoritarian regime, has unfettered access to private business, and there is consensus that that's a legitimate concern. That said, the particular threat from TikTok, that's a lot shakier. The White House has never offered ironclad evidence that China can definitely get its hands on Americans' data, and TikTok says it just operates completely independent of China. But those assurances are not cooling the heat from the White House.
Well, I'm all set up here. I mean, TikTok is still open for business for now. I mean, who knows? All kinds of cool videos, all kinds of cool content coming from my TikTok account. Okay, Bobby Allen, thank you so much. We so appreciate you keeping us up to speed on all this.
You got it, Rachel. Okay, see ya.
And that is up first for this Monday, September 28th. I'm Rachel Martin.
And I'm David Green. We hope you start your day with us back here tomorrow. You can subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you've got a moment, rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate that you listened to Up First. You can find more in-depth coverage of the stories that we talked about today and so much more on NPR's Morning Edition. It's a radio show. David hosts it. I host it. Steve Inskeep hosts it. And Noel King. Check it out at Morning Edition. You can find Morning Edition in your NPR station at stations.npr.org.
With the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the president is hoping to fill the seat with a conservative judge.
And evangelicals who play an important part in American politics have been waiting for this moment.
But how did evangelicals become such a powerful force?
Listen now to the history of evangelicals on the Throughline podcast from NPR.